Hey folks, Fernando doing another video for the More Survivalists, and it's a Pride Month miracle. Apparently, it's been proving that there's a gay gene that causes homosexual behavior. Let's take a listen to what this scientist here has to say.
Others think they've made a choice of being gay, and so the more we can understand the genetic background of homosexuality, the more we...
There is a genetic background to homosexuality? Okay, that is amazing. He made some incredible discovery apparently, but let's keep on listening.
We can mitigate the types of punishments that gay people are receiving around the world.
I personally had to use this information as a teacher. I felt that it was really important to come out to my students, so I did. And during parent-teacher interviews, a group of parents came to me and they said that they were worried that I was going to make their kid gay. So this is really helpful for me because in those moments I can say, well, it's mostly genetic, so if they are gay, probably your fault.
Many people...
Probably your fault. In just a few seconds, you get a whole lot of wrong in that nail dude over there. I don't know if you caught everything. Just listen to it again and pay attention to what he's saying.
That gay people are receiving around the world.
I personally had to use this information as a teacher.
You had to use this information as a teacher. Okay, you had no option. You had to do it. And this man is a teacher. He's apparently in contact with small children. Now, these days, you're not supposed to be concerned about that kind of thing, but you really should. Listen to what he keeps on saying.
I felt that it was really important to come out to my students, so I did. And
why the fuck did you think it was important to come out to your students? I felt it was important to... Why? This is, among many of the other disorders, the narcissistic nature that you usually see with people with this condition. They think that it's all about them, and it is so important that I do it. No, it's not. No, dude, no, it's not. You think it's important, but it's not important for you to share your sexual life with your students, with little children, apparently. You think it's important, but it's not. It's all part of the disconnect that you have. It's all part of your disorder to think that you have to do this. I had to come out with... Why? I mean, I'm a grown-ass man. I've had several teachers in actually different countries. Not once did I have a teacher, woman or a man, have any kind of improper conversation about their own sexual life. Imagine if I had a teacher, dude, I was banging all night long with this chick. That would have been extremely inappropriate. It could have gotten people fired. Not anymore. No. If you're homosexual, you can just groom kids all day long. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. It used to be a thing that got you fired, maybe even landed you in jail for having this kind of contact with children as an adult. Why is it that these adults, obviously a grown-ass man himself, why is it that he needs to have sexual conversations with children?
During parent-teacher interviews, a group of parents came to me and they said that they were worried that I was going to make their kid gay.
The parents were concerned? Yeah, right? Well, that's actually quite correct. They are right to be worried about you grooming their kids. Again, extremely inappropriate conversation, and in spite of and obviously this man cannot help himself. Do you understand that it's beyond his control? His condition makes him want to have inappropriate conversations. Maybe there's cases of some of these people having inappropriate physical contact with little children. So yes, parents should be concerned, because in spite of what they're saying here, a lot of this, it is social. It is about the environment. It is about what that kid is being exposed to. So if a child has, and I don't know exactly the extent or how severe or messed up the kind of relationship he has with his students, if it's just as a authority figure or maybe physical contact that he's engaging on, I have no idea what he's doing. I know that I wouldn't have my child in contact with this man. I know that for a fact. Why? Because I know that even though you can come from a strong, solid house with good parents, the environment, the influence is extremely important for a child. A child is a little person that is learning to behave and live in this world, and he's going to be imitating the role models that he has. So maybe not my child if it's just, if it doesn't end up being a physical contact and abuse like it so often happens with people like this. which ends up having the extremely severe consequences that we all know, right? But even a kid that maybe has a fragile condition back home, maybe not any father figure, not someone listening to them, seeing what their teacher is talking to them about, any kind of crack there, this is going to be influencing in an extreme way that child. So yes, of course, parents should be worried about this.
So this is really helpful for me because in those moments I can say, well, it's mostly genetic, so if they are gay, probably your fault.
Probably your fault. So it's about genes, right? Why is it? Well, because if they can convince you that homosexuality and any kind of gender dysphoria is a matter of genes, then there's no relationship with adult men like this having inappropriate contact with children, or sexual abuse, or mental abuse. This man is mentally abusing those kids by exposing them to things that they should not be exposed. A little kid that is learning to behave in the world we live in should not be exposed to a man that has extreme obsession with sexuality, so much that he cannot stop himself from talking about it with children.
Many people want to claim that homosexuality is just a social construct, including many religious leaders and conservative thinkers. But these statements are always based in opinion, whereas scientists, while they agree there's a lot of different factors that could include environment or hormonal changes in the mother's body, there are literally studies to show genetic links.
Actually, no. It is all false. He's lying, but this is the thing they do. This is part of the social engineering aspect from the left, which is we'll repeat bullshit until people actually believe it. Because if we go by what actual science says, and this is Nature, or this is nature.com, you can look this headline up yourself, you'll find the link. There is literally says, no gay gene. Massive study homes in one genetic basis of human sexuality. Nearly 500,000 genomes reveal 5 DNA markers associated with sexual behavior, but none with the power to predict the sexuality of an individual. Keep in mind, Nature is on its, even though it is the most respected biology, one of the most respected scientific publications in the freaking planet, it is quite woke themselves. So the language they use is quite left-leaning. None predicts the sexuality of an individual, even though it does predict, very strongly so in your genes, that you are made a certain way, and that certain way, sexually speaking, is for heterosexual relationships. That's how your DNA makes you, because this is essential part, not only as human beings, or as even mammals, as living creatures, as damn living creatures. This is a cornerstone of what being alive means. Being alive means that you reproduce yourself. And there's no reproduction among homosexuals. That's against the basic aspect of being a living being. You are born, you grow, you reproduce yourself, and you die. That's what we all have in common in terms of living creatures. Even freaking trees follow this law. And as it says here, there is no gay gene, says lead study author Andrea Gana, genetist at the Broad Institute of MIT and Harvard and Cambridge, Massachusetts. So, in spite of what these people are telling you, repeating time and again about science shows that, no, there's no gay gene. There's nothing that shows any kind of gay gene existence. There's lots of, genetic components that show that your sexuality is extremely important, and that sexuality is always going to be heterosexual sexuality, which is the only way in which we can exist as a species. None of that says there's any kind of gay component to it, okay? It is all part of a narrative that is slowly corroding and eating away at our social fabric and causing the mess that we're witnessing around. I'll have a couple more videos, more lengthy ones, going into more details about this, so stick around. And if you want to prepare for what's coming, what's caused by this kind of agenda, folks, you have my books available there below. Street Survival Skills for the practical aspect of survival and preparedness, and Security self-defense out in the streets, and surviving the economic collapse, regarding the financial aspects of preparedness and what you do when you see inflation, social and economic breakdown of society, which is what I focus mostly on here on the channel. Guys, see you on our next video. Have an awesome day. Take care.